Hi everybody, it's Al here. I'm on the Celebrity Reflection now. I want to give you a tour of the ship and my review of the Reflection. So first I'm going to show you around the ship. Now this is a Solstice class Celebrity ship, and as all of you know who've seen my videos before, Celebrity is one of my favorite cruise lines. So having said that, I'm going to critique the ship and I'm going to tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Right now we are off the coast of Belize. So we went to Belize City today. It was the first time I'd been to that port, so it was interesting to see, but I understand why ships don't come here that often. But it was nice to see. It's a tender port, so you've got to take the tenders over, and it's kind of a long ride because the port here is very shallow, so they can't get the ships that close to shore. They're fixing that in the future, but for now it's a bit of a tender ride. Anyway, I'm going to start here in what is called the Lawn Club. And this is an area where up on deck 15, and you've seen it before, where we can play a little bit of miniature golf. They actually have real grass up here, and I've showed you this on the Solstice as well. But there are some differences that I'm going to point out to you as we go along. Okay, one of my favorite places on the ship is on the back deck, because I always really enjoy being able to watch the wake as we sail. Now, we're not sailing right now. We are docked right off the coast of Belize, and we've got the Radiance of the Seas over there, and then there's a Carnival ship over there. I don't know which one. I think it's the Carnival Vista. Anyway, we are up on deck 15, and this is the Sunset Bar. Now, this is the other area of the Lawn Club. This is an area where you can play some bocce ball if you want. And then down over here, we're going to see a much larger area of the Lawn Club. Okay, we're on the large area of the Lawn Club, and you can see they have a large screen TV here. This is really the only one they've got on board this ship, and that's not a bad thing. A lot of the Princess ships and some of the Royal Caribbean ships have screens above the pool areas that just blast videos and music all day, and that can get a little bit tiresome sometimes. So, but you'll notice over here where they have the glass blowing on the back of the Solstice, this is a specialty restaurant now called the Lawn Club Grill. So they serve steaks and chops and things like that here, some seafood specialties as well. But then also over there, there's another specialty restaurant right up here on deck 15 that's called the Front Porch, and that serves more seafood entrees. So the Front Porch and the Lawn Club Grill. Looks like they're getting set up for the evening service tonight. It's a beautiful spot to come have dinner. But again, it is a specialty restaurant, which means you have to pay more. And this is the Porch Specialty Restaurant, and you can see they're also getting set up for dinner service tonight. And like I said, another specialty restaurant, and they serve seafood. Okay, we're looking up into the atrium here on deck 3. So we are down in one of the lower decks of the ship, and this is sort of the heartbeat of the ship, if you will. This is where you're going to find the shore excursion desk and the guest relations desk. And this is the grand foyer, and we've got a bar over here, so a nice place to hang out. You'll have music down here in the evenings. There's the shore excursion desk over there. Here on deck 4 we have the martini bar, which you saw in my Solstice video as well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It's not very crowded right now. I'm sort of mid-afternoon. And we're still in port in Belize, but it's a great place at night to come and get a cocktail before you go to dinner. On the Solstice class ships, the name of the main dining room is the Opus Dining Room, and that's where we are right now. It's decorated similarly to the one on the Solstice, and that sculpture glass thing there at the end is kind of reminiscent of the way the bar looks on the newer Edge class ships. But this is where you will be eating if you have a regular cabin. If you are in one of the upper class cabins, you will have another dining room that's assigned to you. You will either be in blue or in one of the other dining rooms. My tip on eating here, normally the downstairs is they do 2 seatings. It's usually like a 5:30 and an 8, or it might be 5 and 8:30, so it's something like that. And then upstairs is usually a dine any time. What I recommend you do is you come, if you're going to try to do dine any time, come early or go late. You'll get much better service and much better food, because when they're busy, it puts a little bit of a stress on them, and you'll have a slower time getting through your meal. Throughout all the Celebrity ships, you're going to find art installations, and they're really beautiful. Take your time, walk around the ship and take a look at them. And they have tags on them to tell you who the artist is. This one is by Margie Hutto, 1944 American, Shimmering Garden and Pond 1, 2012 glazed ceramic. So take a look at some of the art. It's actually very pretty. We are in the midship elevator area, and there are 2 banks of elevators on the Solstice class ship, and you notice there are elevators straight through on the other side as well. So we've got 8 elevators here, 8 on the other side, and then there are also some elevators toward the front of the ship. And we are on deck 4, and this is the Cellarmaster's bar. It is a very, very old world, very traditional looking bar, lots of rich tones. Hi, how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you. Lots of rich red and burgundy tones, and they do wine tastings in here, and the bar is open at night, and they can make any kind of cocktail you want in here. It's not all wine, but it's a nice place to come and have a drink in the evening. And we're on deck 4 and entering the Fortunes Casino. There is no gambling going on right now because we are in port. So this is what it looks like. It's a large size casino. I'm not a gambler, so I don't really have any way to tell you what my opinion is of it, other than I'm really glad that they don't allow smoking in Celebrity casinos. So good for you, Celebrity. Thank you for that. And here on deck 4, we've got our shopping area. Very similar to what you saw in my video of the Solstice. And you've got the casino bar here as well. Always a great place to stop by for a quick drink. Okay, now we are entering the area of the ship where the Park West Auction Gallery is. So a lot of people buy this art. They come on board and they are given free champagne, and they're offered an opportunity to buy this art. Now, all I'm going to say about it, I'm not an expert, but all I'm going to say is do your research on land before you buy art at sea. There's a reason this is being sold at sea, at places where you have limited access to the internet. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Here's the future cruise vacations. If you want to book another cruise while you are on board, I usually recommend you book through a travel agent, because that gives you an advocate. If something goes wrong between you and the cruise line, you've got somebody in your corner who has connections with the cruise line. They have account reps and things like that, and they can usually do things for you that you can't get done on your own if you're booking by yourself. So we're entering the Reflection Theater right now. We're in the Reflection Theater. You can see it's a nice sized space, and it's got a balcony up there above us. Okay, I'm still on deck 4, and I just wanted to show you, this is the promenade deck, and this is where, in the case of an emergency, we would get into our lifeboats. So just wanted to show you what this looks like. And one thing about this promenade deck is it's a place that a lot of people don't go, but it's a great place to go and take a look, because this is where you're going to really feel like you're on the ocean. This is where you can come out, and they do have a space here that's open where you can come out and take a look and feel like you're really at sea. So sometimes when you're 15 and 16 stories above the water, you just feel like you're in a big hotel. You don't really feel like you're at sea. But down here on deck 4, you're so much closer to the water. Come out here when the ship is sailing and watch the wake go past. It really is a wonderful thing to do. All right, we are now looking at another specialty restaurant. This one is Sushi on 5. So this is the Japanese sushi restaurant. Now, years ago when I sailed on Celebrity, they used to have sushi in the buffet upstairs, and they took it away and they turned what was then called Bistro on 5 into Sushi on 5. So that's a little bit of a negative in my book, because they have taken something that I used to get for free and turned it into an upsell. But anyway, this is Sushi on 5. And now we are entering the world-class bar, just in the bar area right outside of Sushi on 5, here on deck 5. Another nice place to come get a cocktail, and you're also, again, surrounded by more shops. So more shops. Also here on deck 5 is Cafe Al Baccio, where you can come get your specialty coffees and also gelato. And this is also an upsell, a la carte, so not included with the price of your cruise fare, but it is something you can come treat yourself to. Got another cocktail lounge here on deck 5. This is right outside of the specialty restaurant area on deck 5, and this is called the Ensemble Lounge on the other class of ships, the Millennium class, this is called the Rendezvous Lounge. It's basically in the same place. But you've got several places here. The first is Murano, and that is one of the specialty restaurants. And they have things like Chateaubriand, Dover sole, lobster, etc. I'll see if they'll let me take a look inside. So you can see that this is a really beautiful restaurant. I love the artwork that they have here on the walls. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is the Murano restaurant. So this is the Blue restaurant. And like I said, this is where the Aqua class passengers eat. And you can come to breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're in Aqua class, and I definitely recommend this. This is an upsell that I recommend. You can see it's a smaller dining room than the main dining room, much less hustle and bustle, better service, and better food, frankly. Moving into another area with more specialty, you see the word cuisine, Tuscan Grill, and Blue. Blue is it's the restaurant for the Aqua class passengers. So if you have booked an Aqua class balcony cabin or suite, you don't have to pay anything extra to eat there, and it really is, in my opinion, the best food on the ship. So I would definitely recommend that you book an Aqua class. Now over here on the left, this is the cuisine restaurant, and on many of these ships they have converted this into what they call La Petite Chef, and it has a little cartoon that plays on your desk. So this video does answer my question. Yes, this restaurant has been converted from the old cuisine format into what they call Le Petit Chef. And you sit and dine. You can see this woman, this is a video of her experience. She's sitting there dining, and there's all kind of animation going on her table. And these little chefs come out and actually make your meal. And then the waiters bring a plate that looks very much like what the little waiter made or the little chef made on your plate. It's fun. It's interesting for the first time. I didn't think the food was great when I did it. I've actually done it twice. So I really don't recommend it other than as a novelty experience. This is the Tuscan Grill restaurant, and this is, in my opinion, the best restaurant, the best specialty restaurant on the ship. Their specialties are wonderful homemade pasta Italian dishes and the best cut of filet that you will find on the sea. So really, really wonderful place to eat. Fine dining, very relaxing. I can't recommend this enough. So if you're going to do an upsell restaurant, and if you like beef, and if you like Italian, this is where you want to come. I'm in the midship elevators, and we are going up to deck 9. I just wanted to show you this beautiful plant and sculpture that they have here. So they have a tree that lives here in this atrium, and we're passing an area called the Hideaway, and there's the game area, and then the library is up there. This is the game area. Lots of tables where you can either come borrow a board game, or you can bring something of your own or bring a deck of cards and play games. So I'll show you what my cabin looks like in the Celebrity Reflection. This is a handicapped room, or accessible room, and it's really big. So this is a lot bigger than most cabins are. Sorry, it's a little messy. We've already been on a few days. So this is an interior cabin. It's the first time I've ever had an interior. But you can see it has a really big bathroom too. So quite a bit of space, forgive my wet swimsuit, and a really big shower. So it's a nice place. Nice. I actually don't mind this interior cabin at all. You can really sleep well in these cabins because, and you don't need to bring a night light, at least not on this ship, because you'll notice that I have this telephone right here on the wall, and there's another one out here next to the bed, and so that really gives you just a little bit of light that you need to be able to see in order to get up and use the bathroom or something in the middle of the night. So this is my interior cabin on the Celebrity Reflection. We're on deck 14 at the Sky Observation Lounge, and it's early in the morning. They have a satellite bar set up here, and they have the room really set up as sort of an event venue. Now, one thing I do want to point out about this space is it has been chopped in half by Celebrity, which is unfortunate. They built suites, additional rooms on the left-hand side, and so you can see how it feels and looks very chopped in half. Normally, your sky observation lounge or any observation lounge on a ship would have these panoramic windows, but they would go around really 180 degrees or more in the room, and they've cut that off to build suites. So get that extra revenue, I guess. So, but it is a nice space set up to be right now for a show of some sort from leftover from last night. It also normally serves as the ship's late night disco. This is the solarium area, and very much like the other ships in the Solstice class, to me this is a bit of a miss because it's not as nice as the Millennium class. This pool on the Millennium class has these large pipes that will pump water down onto your head and onto your shoulders and give you a wonderful massage. Also on the Millennium class ships, there are lounge seats that have rolling massagers on either side of this pool, which is missing from the Solstice class. So again, to me, the experience is not as good on the Solstice class in the solarium area. Now, when you're sailing, the solarium is supposed to be all adult, so it's an area where you can go and get away from the kids, although Celebrity doesn't have a lot of kids on board. I wish they didn't have any, but they do have some. The solarium also has a little cafe area over here where you can get light items for lunch and breakfast. I'm up on deck 15 right now, and this is, we're actually tendering to the port of Grand Cayman. They don't have docks, so when you come to Grand Cayman you have to tender. And this is the mast grill where they serve burgers and hot dogs all day long. So, and this is right above the pool. On the opposite side is the mast bar. This is the pool deck, and as you can see, they have 4 hot tubs out here and 2 pools. The pools are an improvement on the Millennium class in that the pools are not very deep. You can see that everybody in the pool is pretty much up to not above their heads. The pools are too deep. One of the pools are too deep on the Millennium class, making them kind of useless. And this is the mast bar. It's on deck 15 above the pool area. And this is a great place to come for sail away. So when you're getting ready to sail from a port, come out and get something to drink and enjoy the view as you sail in and out of port. Okay, we are entering the Ocean View Cafe area. And this is also, again, very similar to the Solstice, what I've done another video on. They're between service right now. They've just closed up breakfast and they're getting ready to serve lunch. But it's a good time to avoid the crowd and show you what it looks like. So various stations all over the area here. One thing that I do like about it is it is all co-located, so it's easy to get to. Give you a peek at what some of the food looks like on the buffet before they open it up. It actually is really pretty. The garlic lemon chicken looks wonderful. And we've got over here, they don't have it labeled yet, but it looks really good. One thing I highly recommend on any Celebrity ship is the ice cream in the buffet area. It is all made on board here, and the flavors are usually wonderful. So today they have a praline, they have a sorbet, exotic fruit, guava, vanilla, cherry vanilla ice cream, strawberry ice cream, chocolate ice cream, and vanilla. If you ever are here and they have the After 8 or the pistachio or the butter pecan, those are delicious. There's a very spacious seating area outside of the Ocean View Cafe on deck 14, and it faces the back of the ship, so it's a really nice place, especially if you've got a good breeze going on, and especially if we're at sea, which we're not right now, but it's a place where you can come really enjoy watching the ocean and seeing the wake behind the ship. Here on deck 4, one of my favorite features of this particular class of Celebrity ship is a space called Celebrity Central. If you're a person that travels in groups on a ship, this is a wonderful spot for you to be able to host private events for your group. It's a small theater space that seats about 250. I'm going to let you take a peek.
All right, I'll read that one more time. Question 15. A year after coming out,
This is the Teens Camp at Sea Lounge. And this is where teenagers are supposed to hang out on the ship. They have some video games and foosball and that kind of thing in here. Again, other cruise lines do kids and teenagers so much better than Celebrity does. Okay, I'm here at the Martini Bar and it's time for me to wrap up this video. So I think this is going to be a little bit shorter than some of my other videos, mainly because I've reviewed sister ships like this before. I have a review of the Solstice out that's a little more detailed. There's not that much different about this ship than the Solstice. This is my second time on the Reflection, so let me give you a few thoughts. First of all, let's talk about Celebrity as a cruise line. It's one of my favorite cruise lines. I always say that, but it is. It's one of my favorite cruise lines. I do think that they have done things a little bit better in the past than they do now. I don't think the food is quite as good as it used to be. It used to be incredible. And it's just not quite there anymore. Still good, it's still better than some of the other cruise lines, but it's not quite as good as it used to be. The Reflection overall as a ship, it's a great product. It's a really good ship and you would have a wonderful time taking a vacation on the Reflection. This is my second time on the Reflection. I think I like the Equinox and the Solstice better. I think that they use their spaces better and they certainly have more amenities on those ships, as I've pointed out. I don't like that they have chopped the Sky Observation Lounge in half and turned part of that area into suites. I think that the Lawn Club on this ship is wasted space. And finally, you know, once again, Celebrity, you don't do kids well. You don't have good kids programs. I wish you would follow the trailblazing Virgin Voyages model and go all adult. Send the kids over to Royal Caribbean because they do kids great. You don't. So send them to your sister company and let the adults come enjoy your beautiful spaces. And I mean beautiful spaces that you have for adults on all of your ships. All of your ships are made and geared for adults. So let's just own up to that and focus on that. And then I guess the last thing I want to say, and I always say this too, is I'm tired of the nickel and diming that you get from the cruise lines. And Celebrity's not the only one. Royal is horrible about it. Norwegian is really bad about it. But I just get really tired of being upcharged for every little thing. Cruising used to be much more all-inclusive than it is, and I want you to go back to that model. I would rather pay a little bit more for a cruise and get a real value than being nickeled and dimed every time I turn around on the ship. That's just tiresome. So that's my overall thought about the Reflection. I hope you enjoyed my tour, and check out my other videos. I will be doing a tour. My next one's going to be on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, so you will see that. And I may do an update on the Norwegian Prima video I did, as well as the Wonder of the Seas, because I'll be back on those ships later this year. And then who knows, I haven't booked anything else for the year, but you never know what it holds. I'm hoping to get on the Icon of the Seas later this year. So thanks so much for watching, and happy sailing.